Welcome to Wall Street Sizing Up. Special edition today. But aren't they all special editions? We're talking about a very dope stock. A stock that's taken on the FANG stock. A stock that if you're an influencer, you need to know about. If you're a merchant, you probably already know about them. But we're going to tell you a little bit more because they are going to rule the universe. That is what we believe. We're talking about Shopify. That's right. Jake hit the theme. We're going to hit the casino and check out Shop. And we are off. And we're talking about Shopify again. Ticker symbol is SHOP. What you see on the screen there is their homepage, their landing page, right? This is going to be a point of contention down the road. They're not going to do it anytime soon. You can see that they do kind of give you examples, and there are some of their merchants on, like I said, their landing page and their homepage. But they can dial this up. And that's what's going to be really, really great about them. So let's jump right into it. So this is an article from the New York Times, and this guy wanted to see what the real story behind Shopify was. And that is that as a merchant, how long would it take him to get set up, get his inventory online, get his processing set up? And so that's kind of the perspective that he takes, right? So let's just start with the simple part, right? So Shopify was founded in 2006. It's the largest company by market cap in Canada. Essentially, store owners or merchants, Shopify takes all the technical complexities that go with processing payments, managing inventory, managing checkout flows, working with code, uploading pictures.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Setting prices, putting in your bank account information. You can literally take an Excel spreadsheet with whatever you want to sell, their description and their price, and you can upload it and boom. The key is in less than a few hours, you have a working and beautiful online website and your brand is born, right? Last year, Shopify surpassed eBay as the number 2 e-commerce destination, right? So literally all of the e-commerce in the US, 6% of those sales went to merchants that were on Shopify. 37% went to Amazon. And that's what we're about to get into. Unlike Amazon, which is an online marketplace where customers go to buy things on the actual Amazon page, Shopify is a software platform visible only to merchants. You don't go to Shopify on the way you do to shop on Amazon. Shopify doesn't list products directly on Shopify.com. But that could be coming and that could be changing. What they do is they handle the payments and they manage the inventory that made Shopify popular. They really brought out the D2C, right? Amazon did that a little bit, but direct to consumer was really when Shopify came into its own, right? So essentially, they turned the model upside down. At least the influencers did with the help of Shopify. So if you've got any kind of following, if you have 1,000, 5,000, 500,000, or 5 million followers, you want to monetize it. And one of the only ways to monetize is to sell them merchandise, right? And so that's kind of what they did. Is that, okay, if I go to Amazon, I really don't have a brand, right? It's really the Amazon brand. And so the influencers basically said, okay, I'm going to basically advertise to my followers what I sell.
It's mine, you understand? Mine, all mine. Get back in there. Down, down, down. Go, go, go. Mine, mine, mine.
Not what other people sell. And that's really where the game has gone. The whole spirit of the D2C space is owning the relationship with the customer and having that direct line. And Shopify gives you that control much more than Amazon ever could. I really like Shopify's management too. Here's what they've done. They have struck partnerships with ad giants like Facebook. They now have literally it's Facebook shops, it's Instagram shops now. They just got in with TikTok, Walmart, that could be big, Pinterest, and Stripe. The thing with Stripe, And it's not mentioned in the article here. It's very, very cool. Like literally, just adding a few lines of code to your shop, you might be able in the future. Now, Shopify, the company for sure, will do this, but the merchant might be able to do this, and that's offer business checking from your site, cross-border payments to people that want to send merch around the world, but they want to send money to, let's say, Mexico or to China, whatever it is. They're going to offer that. Or you might even have your own branded merchant debit card. How great would that be, right? And they've also done, there's FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon. Shopify now has its own Shopify fulfillment network. They also have capital for merchants to buy their merchandise with, whether that's in China or American made or Taiwan, etc. And then on the customer side, they have what's called Shop Pay, and that's where you can do a layaway plan. You can do 4 payments, of $20 a piece over the next 2 months, whatever, right? So they're doing some phenomenal things. Shopify stock has risen close to 200% this year. Really, they're competing with Amazon, and the difference is this. Amazon is all about the customer, right? They're all about getting to the lowest common denominator, right? Now they've got 1.7 million merchants on Amazon, right? Now I believe Shop only has less than 50,000, which is big. Amazon's huge customer base, sales volume, and its ability to fulfill orders by FBA means that a company doesn't even have to store, pick, pack its own inventory. So Amazon was the first to start drop ship, right? Now you can do the same thing now with Shopify, and they're catching up. But here's the thing that really caught me. Third-party sellers now account for about 60% of the commercial activity on Amazon. They're 100% of the activity on Shopify. But here's the thing. So let's say that you had a $50 sweater, right? Amazon is going to take $8 in commissions. If you advertise on their site, they're going to take another $6. And if you use FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, they're going to take 40% of the entire sale. And then they are going to put your products and your brand into envelopes and brown boxes highlighting competing vendors on their site. And for an extra charge, they will give you early reviews and dedicated account managers. What I mean is, do you really have a brand on Amazon? And the answer to that is absolutely not. They make it about the Amazon brand. In fact, Amazon, from firsthand experience, I'll tell you right now, Amazon, once they see what your best sellers are, you will be up against their own white label, black label brand. I forget what they call it, but essentially they find out where your suppliers are, whether they're in China, the US, and they find maybe even a better supplier. They can get it cheaper, or they buy it in larger bulk and they get the price down, and then they go compete with you and they're $2 less, and it's the same, almost the same product, except one's got your brand on it and one's got their brand, but it's cheaper. It's the same thing. What would you buy? Exactly. So if the key of Amazon's success has been to put the customer first, the key for Shopify has been to put the merchant first. And there is the net end of the day difference. They're putting the merchant first. And that sounds bad for the customer, but it's really not. It's really, really not, because it makes you compete on so many different levels than just price. Essentially, Shopify has turned software into a commodity. What distinguishes you is not whether you can write code, but whether you have something to say and an audience to say it to. The role of the creator and the influencer, which began as ambiguous and a fringe side gig, is now an aspirational career path. Just what I was saying. If you're an influencer, this is where you want to go, aka Kylie Jenner, right? You can't go to Amazon and have your own brand. You're just not going to have your own identity, and that's what's key. Amazon is designed to commoditize products to the lowest common denominator. We talked about that they stand for. They would love to devolve your brand into a feature and benefit set and then put every knockoff in the world next to you and then just drive everybody down to the lowest price to where you, the merchant, make nothing, and at some point it doesn't even become worth it, right? Essentially what the co-founder of Shopify is known for right now is this one little line. It's called, Amazon's trying to build an empire and Shopify is trying to arm the rebels. For all you Star Wars fans, you know exactly what that means. Again, they've been very aggressive. The management with Shopify Fulfillment Network, which competes with FBA, they have also gone into partnerships with the Facebook and the Instagram. We've talked about that, the Walmart. They've done a lot of really good things, and they're very, very aggressive. Eventually, on that Facebook deal, Facebook's going to cut them out. Facebook's got to monetize as well, but for now, the partnership works. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. So I want to talk about, so again, here's their homepage. They've got the shop pay. They can fulfill the order for you, and then they've got the Shopify Capital that helps the merchant actually acquire goods to sell. You can see our website here. We have firsthand knowledge. It's a beautiful website. It's taken us this website. It's probably taken us $5,000 to $10,000 to create over the course of literally 5 to 10 years. We did Magento, which I think was just bought out by Microsoft. We spent $500,000, and it was just a bag of is what it was. It was, we'll never do that again, and we'll never get that capital back. But also, here's the thing: you had to go find these incredible developers that just developed in Magento, and it was just a crazy scene of what you had to do to make Magento work. Not a fan. Shopify is where I go. Now, from a financial perspective, what do we like about it? Well, on the summary page here, we will you'll see that it's at $1,100 today. It's got a 1-year target of $1,120. I don't really agree with that. It really doesn't. It doesn't really throw off a dividend. So there's that. But here, let's go back to the stats, right? Here's the things that we do like. In March, it was a $50 billion company. Now it sits at about $130 to $160 billion market cap, right? Its profit margins are a little bit compressed. It's only about 8%, but they can pump those up. It's doing about $2.5 billion in revenue, right? But here's the thing that I like about it. They've got $6 billion in cash. Literally, if they didn't get any more revenue, they could survive for almost 3 years, right? They've got a lot of runway there. And the debt is very manageable at under $1 billion. Also, this channel is all about the hedge funds and investment firms, right? And getting there fast, right? If you haven't tried our SMS text service, you need to. We sent out 4 today. I believe that we got an uplift of 7%. Although it was a bull market today, not a bad service. As far as Shopify goes, institutions hold 67%. So I went to see what holders they have, right? It is a who's who. They own 67% of all outstanding common shares, right? You're talking about Capital World, Bally Gifford, Morgan Stanley, T. Rowe Price, Vanguard, Lone Kind, Fidelity. Just huge companies and investment firms, and really ETFs. And one of the most conservative funds that I know that I put my son's kind of college fund in. It does about 2 to 3%, but the downside is you're never going to go down more than 1 or 2%. I think they've done that like 4 times in their 100-year history, and that is American funds, right? And not the hugest fan of them, but the downside risk, it's just they take that away, right? It's really, really phenomenal. And they hold $1.5 billion position in Shop. So that tells me a lot. So wanted to get into a little more of these financials and what we like about it. Over the past 3 quarters, Shopify grew its earnings at 550%, right? That's above their 3-year average, which is 100% per year, which is crazy. Investors should generally look for stocks with sustainable earnings and sales growth of at least 25%. Well, Shop fits that bill, right? And here's the thing too. So 11 investment banks have Shop as a buy rating, 14 have it as a hold, and 1 has it as a sell. I don't know why. So from a financial perspective, they are extremely healthy. I think if there is one company that can challenge Bezos and the empire, it is Shopify. And they can do that through several ways. One of those ways is that they can dial it up. So on this homepage, landing page, they could literally list their best sellers and drive you to the merchant that sells them, right? Almost like what Amazon does, right? I can see that being $1 billion to $5 billion business just by itself, and they're still selling through their merchants. They're certainly going to take a commission, but I'm almost positive that it's not going to be like the commission that Amazon takes from their vendors, and they're certainly not going to call you to drive down the price, and they're certainly not going to compete with you, right? One of the things too, Shopify's community is phenomenal. I liken their community of merchants and users to the early Apple users, right? I mean, they're just fanatical. They're absolutely fanatical. I wanted to show you a couple of things too. So from a merchant or an influencer perspective, you can actually go to, there's several sites, but the big one's Flippa, FLIPPA.com. You can go there. You can actually buy Shopify sites that already have incoming revenue, right? Now, some may cost you $750. That's got, what, $1,200 a month coming in, and some may cost you $175,000, but you've got $20,000 a month coming in, right? And it's just about what you want to sell. Another hack that you can use is if you go to Google and you type in, and you want to figure out what you want to sell, right? You want to figure out what the best sellers are in your category, whether it's clothing or fitness or in this case, hats. Just go to Google and type in site, SITE, myshopify.com space, and then whatever you want to look at. And what it's going to pull up is the best shops on Shopify, the best merchants on Shopify, and what kind of hats or what kind of merch they're selling. And they're typically the best sellers. That's why I'm showing you this. So hopefully that'll help you out. It's a little bit of a hack. And then once you see the best sellers, then you can go source your own, right? And that's kind of what Shop does. But again, guys, I've said this for the last 2 years. I'm going to give a prediction here. I think that Walmart should and hopefully will buy Shopify if they want to keep up with the Bezos empire. If Walmart, it wouldn't be the biggest merger or acquisition, but it'd be real close. If they could pay $130 to $150 billion and buy Shopify, this is Walmart now, I believe that they could absolutely, they may even be able to bring down the empire itself. So with that said, guys, look at Shop. It's a great company, whether you're wanting to sell on there or whether you're wanting just to invest in the stock itself. We like them both ways. We use them. I have a long-term hold on Shop. I would expect that. In fact, I'll tell you something else. I would expect that they will. I think that stock price will split, or they'll be bought out before that. But I put a price target. If I'm being honest here, I bet there's a $2,000. I would put a $2,000 price target on them by this time next year. With that said, guys, I hope that helps. I appreciate you joining me once again. Watch your six. Go hard in the paint. Cheers, guys. We'll see you. Well, good day, good evening, and whatever time it may be. We hope you enjoyed that video as much as we enjoyed making it. Please hit the like or the subscribe or leave a comment, because we love that feedback. And you know what we say. At the casino, you got to watch your six and you go hard in the paint, guys. Cheers. We'll see you next time.